This question is for you, Tovia Singer. I'm getting so sick and tired of begging, asking questions of these experts who are supposed to have all the facts and getting blown off because they believe I'm trolling, because they don't believe my question is important. It kind of makes me wish the human race would go extinct.
Roman Catholics are more plentiful in the southern part of Germany and Protestants in the northern part of Germany. Okay? Like I was just in Germany speaking this week. Stay with me on the line. In the northern Germany where it's all Protestants. And apparently the Virgin Mary doesn't come to Bremen. You see, what happens is wherever somebody lives, that influences what vision they're going to have. If somebody lives in Saudi Arabia, the Virgin Mary doesn't come to them. I wonder why. Could you tell me why? I mean, think about it.
Yeah, probably because they don't believe,
They don't believe in it. It's not part of the culture. Why does the Virgin Mary come to people in places like Portugal and Spain and Brazil, Argentina? Tell me why those places, somehow, the Virgin Mary is having pancakes with everybody. Tell me why. Why? Because that's part of their culture is Roman Catholic, right? So that's what they have these, either they're making this up or they're having non-veridical visions. Why?
Okay, then. How in the hell do we know that the Old Testament prophets' visions of Yahweh were real? And these visions of the Virgin Mary and Jesus are not real? How do we know they're all not fake? They're all not. And don't tell me, because all the visions of Yahweh in the Bible, all those prophecies came true. Oh, are you well aware of the false prophecy of Tyre and Sidon in Ezekiel? And are you aware of the unfulfilled prophecy, the false prophecy of Egypt not being inhabited for 40 years when Nebuchadnezzar was supposed to take it? Never happened. But before we write all these prophecies as false prophecies, you remember this prophecy right here? For behold, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon and an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as a mighty expert man. None of them return in vain. Back in the days, I remember in the 80s hearing people talking about this prophecy about Babylon never happened, so it must be a future prophecy. It wasn't. It was not an alliance of northern nations that it was Persia that conquered Babylon, not some north countries. So people relegated this as a false prophecy until the Gulf War. Saddam Hussein was claiming to rebuild Babylon. You remember that? And guess what? England, a north country, North America, America and North America, and all those countries in the north came against Iraq, and they screwed his, and they had quote unquote Babylon's ass to him, Iraq's ass to them. And this is interesting. Their arrows shall be as a mighty expert man. None of them return in vain. That's the Tomahawk cruise missiles. So maybe if we give it a little time, all these false prophecies of Tyre and Sidon and the Egyptian not Egypt not being inhabited for 40 years will come true. But then again, alas, it says Nebuchadnezzar would be the cause of this. Nebuchadnezzar's long dead. So my question I'm asking, God, give me a second. Let me get my fucking appearance back. I'm sorry, I'm angry. Screw God for this. So my question, Jesus, Lord Jesus, are you real? Now why am I asking if Jesus is real, not if Yahweh is real? Because let me tell you something. If Jesus is not real, then Yahweh is not real. And I believe that with all my heart.